6 p.m. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Sterling?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. McKnight?
Present.
Mrs. Carlson? Here. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Hastings?
Here.
Mrs. Meeks? Here.
Chris Arduino, Recording Secretary.
Troy Yarbrough, Superintendent.
Shelley Wagner, Human Resources.
Jason Bloom, Communications and Community Relations.
Josh Rand, Business and Operations.
All right. And with that,
So good evening, everyone. Tonight we have with us Rock Cut Elementary. So we got to give ourselves a little time because we've got a packed house tonight. So let's have the students come on up front. And then we'll let parents and guardians kind of circle in so they get a...
they can come all the way around.
Yeah. Bring them on back here. Don't be afraid.
Don't trip.
Yeah, just don't trip.
Don't trip over the tripod.
I mean, many people have done it before, but maybe not staying in front of it. I don't know, some people want to put on
Everyone okay? All right, so
All right, if I can get everybody to stand.
because everyone is going to follow along with us, okay? So, as many of you may know, Rock Cut is home for our district's bilingual program called the OLA program. So every morning we say the pledge in 2 languages, in Spanish and then in English. And then we say our daily creed. So we're just going to do what we do every morning. So you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Yo
prometo lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la República que representa una nación bajo Dios indivisible, con justicia y para todos.
And I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our Rock Cut group. I am
Proud
proud.
to be a student at Rock Cut School. I am safe, I am respectful, I am responsible. Rock Cut is a better place because I am here today. I am a ranger.
And as we often say, Rock Cut is a better place because each of you is there. So thank you very much. And you said introduce.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind introducing yourselves?
You all can sit down.
My name is Darwin Augustine.
Good.
My name is Manan Patel.
Come on over. Manan, come on over. Say your name.
My name is Talia Bird.
Good. Linda.
William Brock.
All right. Alanis.
Alanis Quinones.
Jackson.
My name is Jackson.
And Joseph.
Joseph Martinez.
Nice.
For the photo, you'll hang tight real quick.
Then parents, if you want to come around this way, you can start photo over here.
Hey.
He's like, I've done this before.
I've tripped,
I
I've
did
fallen.
have to get behind the little ones, yeah.
Okay, I'll get behind you. There you go.
Right in the middle. You got this.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Good job.
Hey, good to see you too, buddy.
Nice job, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, always.
Jason, let me get you.
I'll tell you wherever I get.
Or one. That was adorable.
All right, moving to approval of the agenda. Action item 17B is going to be withdrawn. Okay. And then we're going to be moving Evelyn Meeks 11B to go to 11G. Basically, everybody moves up one. And with that, can I get a motion to approve the agenda with those changes?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye. Dr. Terrell Yarborough.
All right, thank you, sir. Like I always like to do is read our mission statement to remind us what we're here for, but it's always hard to follow up, especially today when it was done in Espanol. So I wish I could do this in Espanol one day, maybe. So the mission of the Harlem Consolidated School District as a vital part of the community is to help diverse learners realize their unlimited potential by providing an educational program dedicated to academic excellence and the development of strong character in a safe and respectful learning environment.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Turning it over to Jason.
Approval of minutes or no?
Yeah, do we have to do the meeting minutes?
Sorry, I missed that.
Okay.
Can I get a motion and a second to approve regular closed meeting, board meeting minutes, February 12th, 2024?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Now, let's
Now,
take two.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Try to run.
All right, so, yep, we're ready. Everybody's always apprehensive. All right.
Oh, is it? Yes.
So,
Yes.
this
Model UN.
evening, I'm gonna slide away. Perfect. This evening I have the opportunity, we've got a couple different recognitions that we're gonna do. But first, of course, we're gonna start out with our students, because they deserve the most recognition. And so, this evening we have our Model UN crew here with their advisors tonight. So as many of you know, our high school offers over 30 clubs and organizations for our students to participate in. This being one of the excellent opportunities that we've had around for a while as a thank you to these advisors that help support Model UN. And so before they get to talk, because I know you want to hear from them and not me, I do want to at least read this for you so that you get a little bit of an idea of what Model UN is and what their mission is. And so Model UN is the Model United Nations of the University of Chicago. It's a 4-day academic conference that provides high school students from around the world with the opportunity to meaningfully engage with contemporary world issues, polish their public speaking and communication skills, and become more confident and articulate global citizens. Their mission, since their founding in 1988, has been to educate high school students in the arts of debate, negotiation, public speaking, and by providing a forum in which they can hone their skills, to introduce students to fascinating realities and complexities of international relations through simulation of international organizations, to underscore the potential of the United Nations in resolving international problems while demonstrating its limitations, to foster next generation global citizens capable of evaluating and formulating solutions to the world's most urgent challenges, and then lastly, to challenge students to find common ground and choose collaboration over competition with others from different backgrounds, geographies, and cultures. And so quite a awesome experience that these kids get to be a part of. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kira, let her talk a little about what they've done this year, what they were able to participate in, and then of course we'll hear from our students and some of the stuff that they got to do as well.
And I'm actually going to turn it over to
Okay.
Mrs. Starr, since you hear from me enough to kind of talk about it.
I'm Jen Starr. I've been running with assistance from Ms. Newnham, Model UN for like 12 years now in total. And it started because of a couple of kids that really wanted to pretend to be in the United Nations. There's no other high school besides Auburn in the NIC 10 that participates in this, so it's a pretty significant contribution that these guys put themselves into. Every year we go to St. Ignatius of Loyola. They put on the high school, or they put on the conference with the largest number of high school students of any conference in the United States. So they kind of get their feet wet there. From there, we do the University of Chicago Model UN, which is run by the University of Chicago students. That's a 4-day event, which we just got back from a couple of weeks ago. And essentially what they do is they represent committees that are in the United Nations. They have a problem that they have to solve representing whatever country they are appointed to. So these guys are gonna tell you their names and what committee they served on throughout the conference.
I'm Mimi Tarragona. I work together with her. We were the country, the Czech Republic, and our issue was women's health care.
I'm Avery Wallace. I worked on Czech Republic on social, and our topic was women's health care.
I'm Luan Martinez. We worked on the topic, the trafficking of cultural objects, and yeah.
I'm Michaela Rocha Jimenez, and we talked about the use of private military companies.
I'm Avery Martin, and I represented Alan Hill in the FCC, and we discussed potential solutions for expanding broadband access to rural areas.
Cool.
Oh,
Intense things. And I will just note one more thing. 2 of our juniors will actually not be returning next year with us because one will be in
Italy,
and the other will be in
Taiwan.
Yes.
Some of our previous former students that participated with us, we have 2 currently at Harvard, 1 currently at Yale, 1 at Cornell University, a recent graduate of UCLA, and we like to think it's us, but that is a common thread with those kids.
That's amazing.
That's great. So, thank you.
Well, on behalf of the board, obviously our community, congratulations. We're obviously proud of you. Thank you for representing us well, and I'm excited to see what happens with you all as you move on to your next chapter, or whether you're coming back next year and get to participate again. We're super excited, and again, to our staff, thank you for providing these opportunities. It takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and but this is what happens as a result of that work, so we appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board, to have you up again.
So you always win, listens to something. Yeah. More done that way.
There we go.
There we go, 1, 2, 3.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
And they're not shy.
No, they can't be.
I know, they're exactly shy.
I was like, okay, big issue. I had to do this whole thing.
2 more to go. So I'm excited tonight to give you the opportunity to meet a few of our staff members who have really taken on some of the responsibilities of really giving our students experiences that expose them to a variety of things. In this case, that being careers and the opportunities that they have ahead of them. And I think back to my own, schooling and the opportunities and the things that I thought about as a student, like, what do I want to go into? Well, I knew education because I was in school, and so a teacher was an option. My family's got a trucking business, so I thought, well, maybe that's an option for myself. But I didn't really have these opportunities to go out and really experience and see what else is out there for us. And so these staff members have been doing that, and they're here to talk a little bit about a recent experience and some other things as well. And I just want to make sure I say this right. We invited them originally because they were able to take 30 students to the Trades Union Expo. How many?
32.
32, I am sorry, I did not want to shortchange you on that one. To the Trades Union Expo by the Northwestern Illinois Building Trades Council and Project First Rate. And so I'm going to ask them each to introduce themselves and say what role they're in at Harlem Middle School, and then turn it over to them to share a little bit about what the experience was like and some of the things that they got going on. So I'll turn to this guy. I've known him for a long time.
Dan Hallstrom. I'm the industrial tech teacher at Harlem Middle School.
Valerie Malin, I teach Intro to Health Science and Business.
I'm Mike Kravitz, I'm one of the counselors.
I'm Andrea Morgan, I'm one of the nurses.
So I'll let you guys fight over who's next.
Well, sure, this has been one of the reasons I got into school counseling, was to help kids not be pigeonholed into one area that you have to go to college. There's college, but then my family also had a company of roofing and a bunch of tradesmen, and, you know, I grew up on it. You know, I grew up on roofs, dug a bunch of ditches, a lot of ditches. Drove some trucks, had to go and deliver in the city, and it was an experience that I had that I know that other people don't have. And I recognize that there's a lot of kids in this community that don't even know what's out there. You know, there's more than just your doctors, nurses, police, teachers. What else are you gonna do with your living? So a lot of these kids, they get exposed to this, and they really like to build stuff also already. And they don't realize the opportunities that are there. So doing this trades, they invited us, and I know Dan started it several years ago. He said 97 is when it began, right?
97 is the first time I remember going.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple iterations because whenever there's a recession, sometimes they don't have the money to put
Yeah.
on. But we've been doing it for, I think, the last 15 years.
What's good about it is if the kids can actually touch the things. You
It's
know,
all hands-on.
middle school kids, you know, they're paving concrete, and they're hammering nails, and they're soldering, and they're putting roof patches on, and
They're very good at it.
and you know, you get the kids that would be possibly tougher in a classroom, and then they're just laser focused, and it's an amazing transformation you see in some of these kids. The surprising thing is the girls, especially this last trip. These girls were extremely engaged, so that was impressive to see that, and I'm kind of.
The trades are very much focused on diversity too.
Yeah.
Especially trying to get women and people of color into there. And they've really expanded a lot over the last 15 years that I have seen. And also, what's fun to watch is that a lot of our students have family in the trades.
Yeah.
So they'll come and say, you know, we had a girl that grandfather worked for Miller, so she wanted to go to see the HVAC guys. You know, my grandpa, yeah, I worked with your grandpa, and I worked with this and this, and they do a great job. They lay out the fact that here's how much money you'll make, you know, and in 5 years, a lot of those trades are looking at 6 figures.
Yeah.
With no college debt, no tele. And they do a great job of explaining it. They really do. And I'm happy that we've been able to go every year. It's good exposure for our kids. It's good.
Yeah,
I wish we could take more, but they let us.
Do you two want to add anything to?
Well, my group was great. We went and we welded a little bit. I got into it too. And we went into the plumbing area and scaffolding. So my team, we kind of just did a little bit of that because they were really interested in that, people going into heights and so forth. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully get to do another place at Rock Valley to do that and open their eyes up to more. I mean, there's so much more.
Maybe it's speculation.
I'm working on it.
We are
I'm working on
looking
it.
for more ways to expand
Yeah.
it to different areas also. And we'll see where that leads us to.
I'm just proud of these guys.
Yeah.
They worked really hard. I was only there for some medical needs, but actually I really enjoyed it. We had students of all abilities go. So I think that's fun. Like, we had students on the spectrum and different, and they were very engaged and they liked it as well. And actually, like, one of them wants to be an operator because there was a cool video game simulator. So it's really nice. It's a nice opportunity for us, even as grown-ups, to see the kids get excited, so.
Well, we know that we've been obviously working to, especially at the high school, to really bring this stuff inward and provide these experiences in our walls. But we know that we're going to rely heavily on our community partners and organizations to really support these opportunities for our kids and give them that exposure. And that starts in middle school and even really younger than that. And so a big kudos to these four and their group that really organized this. Again, these are above and beyond activities and things that they don't necessarily have to do, but they recognize the importance of that, and they recognize the importance of giving these experiences to our kids. So on behalf of the board and our community and our staff and our students, thank you to the four of you.
Thank you.
I'll pass on.
You guys got that picture.
Thank you.
I got one more. All right, so we have one more recognition this evening, and it's actually a presentation to us, but we put it on the recognition. So I'm excited this evening to introduce 3 members of the Harlem Roscoe Firefighters Association who are here to actually present a really large check. I'm going to get one of these. A large check to us that they've raised. And so just to give you a little bit of a background, for the past 10 years, this association's been really working on raising funds to donate to the community, to the schools that they serve. And so this started actually out when I was a principal at Ralston. I had the opportunity to serve on their interview committee because when they first started, they did a scholarship, and they would do a $10,000 scholarship for a graduating senior from Harlem High School or Hononegah High School. And then after a little while, I think they said, well, man, we could maybe impact more than one person, right? And so then that transitioned to looking at different ways to support the districts that are within their district, their fire district. And so that turned into classroom sets of Chromebooks. We had something donated to our welding department. Last year, they donated money to really kind of support mental health services. And so this group has really just kind of gone above and beyond. I know that I've played in a few of the golf play days that Rob's really orchestrated, and it's a lot of work to raise money. And you're going to see that they're donating $6,000 to us. I think the total of your donation between the 3 districts is
just under $20,000.
Just under $20,000. Like, and that's incredible because these are people that are doing this above and beyond. Again, no requirement for them to do that, but they do care about our community and the schools within the community. So I'll let Rob say a few things because I know that you didn't want to say anything, right? So,
Rob doesn't know much about it.
Yeah, so Rob and I have known each other for a long time. His wife is a teacher at Ralston, and I was a teacher there as well, and she works at our high school right now. But he's a great partner to our district and has been a good friend over the years.
And none of this can be used towards her salary, by the way.
So take us on his wife's salary.
No, thank you for having us, I really appreciate it. Like I said, we started this about 10 years ago. We raised almost just under $200,000 in total over the last 10 years for this this benefit. Like I said, it was towards more scholarships, but we're like, well, we can kind of expand a little bit more. So we serve 3 school districts in our fire district, and a total of 8 schools, and we proportion out the funds. And we don't dictate where it should go or what it should be used for. We have enough faith in our leaders and where you guys know you need it the most. We know $6,000 may not go far, but every year we're capitalizing on the golf play day in order to raise more and more funds. So if you're available this year, June 28th, and I will be sending out numerous emails, as many of you probably got from me. So with that, on behalf of the Harlem Roscoe Firefighters Association, I'd like to present the Harlem School District 122 check for an amount of $6,000.
Keep it away from Josh.
He got the real one.
Yeah.
You guys might want to get
On the side here.
You gotta run it one day.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you guys so much.
Let me know.
Yeah, we'll be sorry. We're good. Transition.
That's all right.
All right. Moving on to comments from the community. We have a total of 9? Yes, 9. Yes, we do. All right, the first person will be Mr. Scott Hyman.
No, Scott,
you can come on.
Yeah.
All right, 3 minutes. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak before you. I know that I've also sent an email to each of you regarding this situation, but I feel it's important to say it out loud. My name is Scott Heidemann. I am writing this letter in response to your recent board meeting with the decision on whether or not to hire Jim Morrow as a Harlem varsity football coach. I'd like to write to support and endorse the decision to hire him. As a graduate of Harlem High School in 1997, I had the opportunity to play varsity football for 2 years while he was the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach. He held us student athletes to high standards and made us accountable for our actions. His care for us was evident both on and off the field. He has relentless passion for football and uses this platform effectively as a medium to teach young student athletes about life through the sport. He has decades of experience playing for or coaching with multiple IHSA Hall of Fame coaches, including Vern Pottinger and Brian Benning. To the board, the endorsement from the hand-selected search committee comprised of faculty, coaches, and community members was no surprise. But the reluctance from the board to question the endorsement and hiring was, what precedent is set when the committee endorsed candidate, which included the incoming athletic director and principal, is potentially denied the position by the board, who didn't have any part of the interview process? What type of relationship and level of trust between the board and the school would be created, and what optics does this create to the Harlem community if there is a blatant dissension between prominent leaders of the school and elected officials of the district? High school sports is more than just playing the sport. They provide opportunities to learn and grow through practice, wins, and losses. You learn a lot about yourself while developing attributes such as accountability, leadership, discipline, character, integrity, and work ethic, to name a few. Coach Morrow exudes these characteristics and is the ideal candidate to hire as a coach to help teach young women and men in the Harlem community both on and off the field. He has been an upstanding and well-respected faculty member in the district since 1995, and if there was ever any question of character or integrity, I would think concerns would have been raised over this tenure. My children don't play football, so I don't have say or vested interest, but that's a lie. I'm a third-generation Husky and raising my kids as a fourth. My great uncle Art Anderson epitomized what it meant to be Harlem and one with the community. A customized orange and black paint job on his Dodge, his presence at games and financial support so much it's reflected in the name of the gym, and his pride and joy of the community, the field of honor. I stand in his honor and channel my Uncle Art's energy and enthusiasm to emphatically support the hiring of someone who shares his passion for the Harlem community. Thank you for your time and consideration. I don't envy your position to make difficult decisions on behalf of the district. However, I believe this decision is to hire Jim Morrow is an easy one. And on a personal note, to any student in the room, I understand your disappointment and frustration of going through change at this stage of your life. However, the board votes on hiring Jim Morrow, you will be in good hands. This room is a testament to your potential and his dedication.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Elena Tufton.
Thank you. I will be short, I promise everybody. I'm Elena Schelling Tufte, for those of you who don't know me. I am a second grade teacher at Olson Park Elementary, but I am also the HFT co-president. I just wanted to touch base real quickly with you all publicly and say thank you to Terrell, thank you to Josh, thank you to Shelley, who have worked very hard on bringing the health clinic to our district. That's set to open here in the summer/fall. We shared that information with our members at our general meeting, and they were excited, they were positive, and they were looking forward to this happening. So I know we started this journey before COVID hit, and I'm glad we're able to finally put an end to it. That is, of course, with your blessing tonight as you vote. So I just wanted to thank you and let you know that we are very happy and excited with the start of this happening. So thank you.
Thank you. Brad Shields.
Hi, I'm Brad Shields. Looking around this room, it looks like there might be a good start of an offensive line. If there's any COVID years left over here maybe. But I'm just coming today to support the hiring of Jim Morrow as our football coach. The last several years has been disappointing, to say the least. Not record, but lack of discipline. And one thing that I'm fully aware of is the community will be more likely to rally around a team that acts like the community expects them to act. And so it's time to restore that to the Harlem football program, and I recommend that you hire Jim Morrow tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Billy Cook.
Hi, this is the first time for everything, right? So I am here as a supportive community fan, former coach for Jim Morrow. Once I heard that he had an opportunity to become the head coach, I was ecstatic. I do have a son at the school at this time, and watching the games and understanding a culture, and that's what I want to talk about real quick, is when I had an opportunity to work with Jim for 3 years, we built a culture of collectivism. And that meant everybody was involved in what we did and how we did it. And I felt like when I was there, it was part of a family. The man welcomed me in his house. We did come in that year on strike. And at that time, I was the first African-American person, I think, in the entire district. And he gave me some great advice. Don't get on that picket line. And I took that advice. But I think it was just him as a man and as a, like I said, a brother that gave me that opportunity within the Harlem community. And, I'm going to make sure I support him throughout this term. So I was just going to talk to you guys and I think it would be a great opportunity to hire this man to rebuild the culture of the Harlem football team. And football goes a long way, not only just within the community, but the school in general. And I think him, as the head football coach, can rebuild that culture of collectivism. So that's all I have, and thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bobby Sheets.
President Sterling and Harlem Board of Education. First of all, I just want to say thank you for what you guys do for our community and the time and the investment that you put into to the Harlem School. My name is Bobby Sheets. My wife and I have lived in the school district for 39 years now. We're well invested. We've been involved. We throw our energy into it as friends of the community. We have 3 grown children. All 3 had a great experience coming through grades kindergarten through 12th grade at Harlem. All 3 graduated. All 3 participated in extracurriculars, including athletics, including my son, Zach, who played football for Coach Morrow. During my time in this community, I've had many blessings and unique opportunities. One of those unique opportunities was to be the head freshman football coach for 13 years at Harlem High School. So with that, I coached with and alongside many of these guys in this room, including Coach Morrow, and coaching under his leadership as well. The second great arena that I've been a part of is I'm the pastor of Riverside Community Church here in McChesney Park, where Jim and Meg and their family are very active members and involved and serve in so many capacities at our church. So with those 2 arenas combined, I have known Jim Morrow for over 25 years. During my years of coaching at Harlem, it's very clear to see that Coach Morrow's compassion, the game of football, and the love he has was nothing but the top. But there was one other thing that I noticed right away was his call for discipline. I knew that he loved football, but he also used the football field as a teaching tool to teach kids lessons about life. And every year he would instill in his players these words: I want you to be a champion in the classroom, I want you to be a champion in the community, I want you to be a champion in the field. Saying he expected the most out of his players on and off the field. Through the 20-plus years that I've known him, I can attest to you that this man is a man of faith, he's a man committed to his family, and a man of unwavering integrity. When I learned that Coach Jim Morrow had the desire to come back at Harlem and to be the head football coach again, I was excited for him. I was excited for the Harlem football program. I was excited to to make that phone call and congratulate him. And then when I learned that the recommendation had been pulled off the table and off the agenda, I was shocked, I was stunned, I was angry. You know, it's one thing if a parent or a fan wants to sit in the bleachers and question Coach Morrow's play calls, his philosophy of football. It's one thing if another person wants to get on social media and do the same. But they have no basis to attack his character.
Thank you, sir.
And so I stand here tonight boldly to this school board saying, you're not going to find another coach with unwavering integrity, strong values and morals who cares more about his players than Coach Morrow's.
Bobby, thank you, sir.
I recommend Coach Morrow.
Jim Brogan.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to touch base on a couple things regarding the hiring of the football coach. I know there are a lot of concerns, a lot of people are supporting. I have yet to see students up here speaking. Students were very vocal when it came to Coach Mo. I have yet to see students come up and support Coach Morrow. I've heard things talked, I'm speaking, please. I've heard things said about culture. How long was Harlem banned from Whitewater College after the football team was jumping on administrative cars, doing damage that the parents had to fundraise to pay off? Culture of the lack of discipline from Coach Morrow when students were writing racist graffiti on the lockers, his players dropping the N-word. The lack of accountability by Coach Morrow for these students. We just got rid of Mo. There were far less problems with Mo than what there were under Coach Morrow. That's all I have to say.
Chris Burns.
Good evening, my name is Chris Burns. I'm a Harlem graduate, employee for the last 18 years. My presence at this meeting tonight is to speak on the hiring of Jim Morrow as the head football coach. I have known Coach Morrow since I was 14 years old, and he was my head 9th grade football coach at Harlem Junior High School. After that season, he followed us up to the high school level and became the varsity offensive coordinator, a position he held during the 1997 conference championship season, my senior year. To say he was a mentor to me would be an understatement. I proceeded to go off to college and figured I would go into law enforcement. After 2 years, I changed my major to education. I hoped I could be a positive role model for others as Coach Morrow had been for me. I was lucky enough to be hired at Harlem and joined his coaching staff where I coached for 10 years. That brings me to today. After 18 years in education, coaching football, coaching baseball, coaching basketball, I am a product of Jim Morrow. Although Coach Morrow has more wins than any football coach in Harlem history, it isn't always about the wins and losses. It's about teaching young men how to be better sons, better teammates, and better students, so they can become better fathers, better husbands, and better members of society. I am a coach because of him, I'm an educator because of him, and I am better because of him. Finally, I have 2 sons that currently play football in the Harlem program, and I urge the board to vote yes to hire Jim Morrow so my boys can have the same opportunity to grow under his leadership that I did. Thank you for your time.
Kelly O'Bannon.
All right, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelly Albano, and I've been an English teacher in the district for the last 16 years. I'm also the English Department Division Chair, one of them, and I think I represent about half the English department tonight in the way I have to say. I'm here to say that if you as board members would like a football organization that creates leaders, young men who know the value of hard work, dedication, self-discipline, and respect, then you will approve Jim Morrow as head coach. If you want a coach who leads, inspires, and challenges these athletes to succeed in their goals, both on and off the field, during football season and long after, then you will approve Jim Morrow as head coach. If you want something else, or if you'd like to leave those values to chance, then by all means, keep looking to hire somebody else. He's not your guy. But recognize that your decision not to support the recommendation of your school administrators, athletic director, and other members of the hiring team has consequences that reach far beyond the football field and ultimately erodes the foundations of trust that this district is built upon. We trust you'll make the right decision to approve Jim Morrow as head coach. Thank you.
All right, so this next one's gonna be different. I'm going to read the name, and then we're gonna take the vote to go into close.
We're just gonna, yeah.
Okay.
Here's one more comment.
But this one's, yes. All right, we have a comment from the community. It's gonna be Jackie Daniel. I need a motion and a second to go into closed.
Under what? Personnel? Okay. Sorry, second.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye. All right, please leave the room. Administrative reports 12C.
Motion. Second.
Mrs. Hasty? Aye. Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
I just took a bite. Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Turning over to Dr. Shirley Wegman.
Thank you. This evening, I have a recommendation to approve the personnel agenda and addendum. There are a couple corrections on the agenda portion. The first is Halen Kling's resignation as a coach. It should be 2024, not 2023. So if you notice that, please correct that. Also, PE employment, Hunter McCluskey's position is terminal. Please note that it is terminal position. It will end June 3rd.
Thank you.
Then I have a recommendation to approve the restructured job description for the Secretary to Assistant Superintendent for Communications and Community Relations. You should have seen that. It was attached with the description. I also have a recommendation to approve the Memorandum of Understanding between the Harlem Federation of Teachers, Harlem Federation of Support Staff, and Harlem Board of Education to amend provisions of the 2022 to 2025 collective bargaining agreement as to Level B Secretary, HMS Athletic Secretary, Main Office Receptionist, and Level C Secretary, as well as the Secretary to the Assistant Superintendent of Communications and Community Relations, which includes the former Parent Resource Secretary that will no longer exist. Finally, this evening, I have a recommendation to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Harlem Federation of Teachers, the Harlem Federation of Support Staff, and Harlem Board of Education to amend the provisions of the 2022 to 2025 collective bargaining agreement to specify 12-month secretarial employees' options when district offices are closed due to unusual or emergency situations. That's it for me.
Thank you.
Did you review the personnel agenda noting the employment?
I did not. Let me go back to that. So on that personnel agenda, remember when I made those 2 corrections?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so overall, including the corrections, there are 8 employments, 5 transfers, 2 revisions to 2 resignations. That is the addendum. 10 resignations and 3 Federation Bank requests. And that will officially end it for me in my section.
Thank you.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, so you want to do a motion?
Moving to 13A, I need a motion to move to 13A to approve personal agenda with the addendum.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
All right, and now can I get a motion to approve the personal agenda and addendum?
Motion. Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Yes.
That's right.
All right, and then with that, close out our action items after closed session. I need a motion and a second to approve the tenured teacher disciplinary actions for employee Jackie Daniel. 2023, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
You guys got a coach?
You got, we have a coach.
All that excitement, approval of the bills.
The total payables for this period were $532. $28.51, with void checks of $18,268.37. There was one payroll this period for the amount of $3,450,733.33, for total expenditures of $3,982,761.84. Split out by fund, the education fund paid $3,343,770.01. The operations and maintenance fund paid $285,330.12. The transportation fund paid $223,917.82. The IMRF Social Security Fund paid $119,197.56. And the Capital Project Fund paid $10,546.33. Again, for total expenditures of $3,982,761.84. Are there any unanswered bill questions?
Just that this is the biggest crowd you've ever had. All right, moving on to communications and committee reports. Oh yeah, approval of the bills. See, they got me thrown off.
Promotion.
Second.
Okay, Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye. Kurt Thompson.
All right.
It's the biggest you've had here too.
Right? You know, I missed last week, and apparently everyone missed me as well. No, jokes aside, the outpouring from the community, I mean, this shows it for one. The emails and messages that we all got, sorry I didn't respond to them because there were so many. And that's important, right? Like, this is how you build the community. This shows the importance to everything and to make sure your voices are heard. So I appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day for the emails, the outpouring, showing up here for the support of not just Mr. Morrow, but the district, the community, and our program. So thank you for all of that. I've got a long list. I'm going to go really quick because I was out. Great things that I was able to attend since the last meeting. The Kaleidoscope concert is fantastic, as always. Getting that many talented musicians from all ages and being able to watch them progress from literally grade school to their senior year is absolutely amazing. And every year you get the opportunity to see that. If you haven't, you should absolutely check that out. It is fantastic. Let's see, at Marquette, I was able to come and see their welcome back celebration. If you have the opportunity to see Poopsie, the sky carp, the children were super excited, and so was I.
What a name.
I know, it is fantastic, and I'm glad we have Harley. That being said, I was able to attend the Fine Arts Information Night. The amount of people packing the gym for the opportunity to grow in the arts and to bring in second graders for their opportunity at third grade is fantastic, and I love seeing that program grow. I love everyone that came out to do their time to kind of support it and really show the effort that they're putting into this fantastic program. Marquette's movie night and game night, I was able to go to that. It was fun. How they got that movie playing on so many TV screens was truly impressive. And also a special note to Mrs. Setter. She created a Guess Who game with all of the staff. Some of your pictures were there as well. Harley was on it. Awesome. If you get a chance to stop by there and see her class, you've got to play a Guess Who with all the students on it. And McChesney had a bowling trip. There's been many bowling trips this season. That's the one I was able to go on. Also, great fun to see everyone grow and see their positive informant come to the results of being able to go bowling and enjoy that as a class and as a school. Let's see here. Good luck and congratulations, as we are almost to find out who are winners for Golden Apples. So Tim Perrin and Jeremy Toledo, good luck, and hopefully we'll have some good news here for that. Yeah. Let's see. The string of college signings is an exciting time of year for everybody that's there. Congratulations to all of them and their future endeavors. Book Battle Readers, that's still going strong and everyone's enjoying that. Let's see, ribbon cutting ceremony is coming up real soon. I couldn't be any more excited for that for Rock Cut. And let's see, I think that's most of it. Besides everyone that was absolutely here, we have a lot of academics and there's a lot of sports that come in for their accolades and what they've done. And even tonight, having Model UN coming in here, the benefit from the money from the firefighters, Association, and then the expo, bringing 32 students at middle school. Like, that's amazing. One of the reasons I got on this board was the problem that I had going through high school was that lack of direction, that you had to go to college for something. And here we are now, a few years later, going through that opportunity and getting these kids to see this stuff firsthand. Maybe college works, maybe a trade is the thing to do, but if you don't see that, you don't have that opportunity, you're missing out. We need more of that. And when he said we can only take 32, we need to figure out what we can do to get more students to that. And last one, and I will be quiet, I hope I left something for everyone else here. Aaron Gusky, I missed it. I just wanted to call out at Business Services, which we're all going to see everyone at here at the next one. He has done such a fantastic job to detail the amount of technical equipment, process that is going into our schools, and being able to call out where are security issues and stay ahead of that so it doesn't cost this district all this money if we get locked out of all our technology. Like, it is to be commended, and the fact that we were able to upgrade all of our Wi-Fi, that everyone here that has gone to this district can use that Wi-Fi more efficiently, and he saved us 80% of the total tab. $1 million worth of equipment, we got, what, it's $250,000. I just wanted to call that out. I think Aaron did a great job. I wasn't able to do that when I was gone last time. But kudos to him. And that's it. If I missed something.
No, you pretty much.
I got it all? All right, sorry. Thanks, guys. I won't miss another one. That's the problem. First one in 3 years. My bad.
With that, we're turning it over to Aaron McKnight.
No, you know what? I'm not done. I lied. I lied. It was the one thing that was written down. And it's important because everyone comes here so religiously. This time it's going to be at the high school. So March 6, 2024 at 5:30. We're going to be meeting at the high school in room W145. So come out. You get to listen to Josh again. I heard the congratulations. You're going to be excited. And we get to tour the new CT building. So I'm also excited about that. All right, that for real this time.
Thank you, sir. Aaron McKnight.
All right, Aaron.
I'm really just gonna, I feel like I almost should like pause for 30 seconds, like I'll run out of here since you
Nobody knows they can do that.
Huh?
Yeah, they knows now.
Hey, we listen to them. They can listen to them.
We did. So I too got to go to Marquette for the Welcome Back Day. What's funny is we didn't even see each other because I was in the car lane with the principal and he says he was there on the other side.
I was right in the front door.
Okay, so I also had a chance to meet with the principal afterwards, and you know, every time I meet with the principal of the schools, and I'm still working my way through them, like, it blows my mind the dedication that sometimes goes unseen. And it's, you know, and it's the little things like how creative they, you know, the ones that I've met so far, and I'll get around to the rest of them as well. And how creative to keep engagement, like, you know, like he does movies, like every day he does a small movie clip, and he asked me if I know anywhere where he could ride on a plow truck to show the kids what it's like to sit up in a big plow truck or something. Or, I mean, it's just insane. And I know there's a lot of time stuff. I just wanted to say that. I ditto what Kurt said. The only other thing that really blew my mind is the Model UN that came here earlier.
Yeah.
Like, that, like, do we have a debate club? Like, I feel like I should know this, but do we have one?
No.
I mean, I just loved how well-spoken those students were, and I think that helps, and maybe a debate club, you know, would help get, I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to be a part of it. I would love to argue, I mean, debate. If you guys all know me, I would have loved to have done something like that. But other than that, I want to thank you guys all for showing out and showing up. I mean, at the end of the day, we are a community, and you know, we feel that we've got to do the right things for our community, and the one way that you can do, the biggest thing that you can do is voice it, because we've said, all of us on the board have said it hundreds of times. We don't know everything that's going on. We don't know very little that's going on unless people tell us. So I appreciate you guys all coming out and you know, looking for a strong year again. So thank you.
Thank you. Rebecca. You get to follow all that.
I was going to say, there's not much, not much to follow
just
that. I guess the only thing is that I thought it was great to have the Rangers come in here. And
Yeah.
not only showing English learners how to say the pledge in Spanish, but to learn it both directions, that was amazing. That was so cool. Like him, I'd love to learn it in Spanish too. We could all do it one night. That was really cool. I love the Model UN. Man, that is so amazing. And they go and they spend, what, 4 nights, she said, in Chicago, and they have to be up at 6 in the morning to go to these programs, and that takes some serious dedication from these kids to be doing that. And to go to a college, I mean, that's gotta be overwhelming somewhat, just to go down there and be like, oh my gosh, there's like 300 high schools here, and we're all gonna have to behave. But that's amazing to me. There's not a whole lot, obviously. I'm not a big athletic person myself, but it's amazing to have all of these people who just took the time to send us emails. Like one of the other board members said, what did we get, like 10 this morning? And it was just like, holy moly's. So that was very amazing that they took the time to do that. But I only had one little thing, and I know I had sent Josh an email a few weeks ago, and I had talked to the food service director years and years and years ago. And I would like to see the district think about, possibly look into getting rid of the polystyrene serveware. I know that could be more expensive. I've looked up a couple of numbers and different things about it. And I would like to see them go to a fiberboard servingware, because we know that polystyrene is not good for either our bodies or for the environment. And after going through a few numbers, we are actually sending 630,000 trays just from value meals into our landfills every school year, which seems like, wow, oh my gosh. And they claim that polystyrene does not degrade for at least 500 years, if that long. And so it's just really unfortunate, and that's just the value meals. So then we're counting, you know, the a la carte items at the high school, we're counting teachers' coffee cups, there's hundreds and hundreds of things that are going into our landfills. And I'd like to see, and it's more expensive to do the fiberboard. But I would like to see the district think about not just, I mean, we know we're education, but health and welfare for our students. We have all kinds of clubs that do green.
That could be an amazing discussion at business services.
Yeah, it could, but I just think that that's something we really ought to look into. So, yeah, and again, we can come to visit, what is it, this Wednesday, next Wednesday?
Yeah.
That's about it for me, so, next.
Thank you. Mr. Larry Smith?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you to the Rock Cut Rangers for coming in and giving the pledge. That was terrific. Our youth in this district do such a terrific job, the UN people, but I want to draw attention to the art that's on the walls. Mike, if you could turn over to the blue concentric circles over there behind. That's the one that I've really been focusing on. The perspective of a snow person looking up at the sky.
There it is.
And you can just hear him saying, why? Because it is so beautiful today. It is in the 60s today. So my sympathy goes out to snowmen and snowwomen all over the area. But to make up for it, we've got a wonderful education committee meeting planned for tomorrow, right here at 4:30, and it is the Leap Day edition of the education committee. So all are welcome.
So you can't skip it?
Right, next. Pause for effect.
I love Larry's great joke, and then he just...
Speaking of art, Larry, I found out this week that our Harlem students also have art over at the library. So special shout out to all the students, including Mila Hastings, for their art over at the library. I got to attend the SIP Day and the district-wide E-Team. I feel like work that they didn't. It was really amazing, not only content, but to come together as a district and really talk about our equity journey. Followed almost directly by our Social Justice and Equity Committee, where we had some excellent conversation, and Olson Park did an awesome presentation on 6-word memoirs. So if you haven't looked that up, I would highly suggest it. And then the topic of the evening, so Coach Morrow, you were the hot topic tonight. I want to take a few minutes to thank everybody who reached out via email, phone, and in person to discuss thoughts and feelings. The level of engagement on this has been equal to when we voted on the middle school transition, so that is a feat. You took a win tonight for sure. I hope to see this level of engagement continue with all of the things that we bring forward. I have not gotten to meet you in person. However, a lot of Coach Morrow personally. As a board member, those are the hardest moments, right? We're presented with personal accounts and facts, and we have to take the best vote that we can. So I appreciate you respecting the process and sticking through. No reflection on your character, as I don't know you, but I hope that changes, for sure. I would be lying if I had my hesitations, but if I said I didn't have my hesitations, but my hope is that you prove all those wrong. So Dr. Yarbrough and Jeremy have never steered me wrong, thank you. So that's where we're gonna go. So congratulations to Coach Morrow, and that's all I got. Oh, policy, April 22nd. 4:30, almost as engaging as business services. Cannot hold a stick to education, but I would still get your ticket, so.
All right, thank you. No, I'm gonna be, she wants last. All right, well, I wanna say first, welcome back. I know you haven't left, you've been teaching here. Welcome back. I really want to give out a shout out to the middle school staff on that, the CT stuff. Bringing those kids there perfectly at the perfect time to get them engaged and ready to go to the high school. They were 8th graders going into the high school next year, so they can experience some of the new programs that we'll be having. Reached out to the project First Step director, and they talked to me about the counselor and the teachers that reach out personally and went above and beyond and make sure that the kids got a spot. They had to demand it, or not demand, ask. And that's the reason why they only got 32 this time, but we'll work on getting more. But that's just a testament of going above and beyond the call of their duty, and you have to shine a light on that when you can, because that's for those kids, and those kids are now, as you heard, were able to experience things that they might not have been able to. Just one kid gets altered to have the right path. It's worth it. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm glad we were here, able to get them here today to hear them, but also to tell them thank you in person. Let's go following up with Kira and Jen Stark, the Model UN. You heard it there. The proof's in the pudding. A couple of Harvard graduates from Harlem, Yale, Cornell. I mean, just keep the list going. That's what we need to highlight. We're in the business of education, and I mean, it doesn't have to be an Ivy League, but just a small little group like that, and you're seeing the dividends. So again, those are counselors and teachers that go above and beyond. Those are things that I'm glad to have them back and highlight. I mean, at the end of the day, we're pushing the product out the door, and that product is hopefully a fully functioning person to go into our society in whatever aspect that they can. So I'm happy that we have the people in place like you all that does that. So shine a light where we can. With that, if we have our next regular board meeting, as you can see, it is parallel laughs up here some days. Mr. Smith keeps on our toes. March 11th, 2024 at 6 p.m. And I also have a recommendation to destroy audio recordings from July 2021 through June 2022, recordings older than 18 months. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Evelyn Smith.
Evelyn Smith.
Evelyn. Sorry.
We're all Smiths deep down.
Larry has screwed me up today.
First, I want to say thank you to everyone that came out tonight, and also hello first. I should have said that first. But as a board member, we go through, you guys don't realize the things that we go through, the phone calls, the texts, the emails, and I mean, it's hard, and it's hard to make a decision. I just want a community that can come together and work together without, and I know there's gonna be a few little scruffles up there, but as far as like, if there's something that you don't understand, or if there's something that's not been interpreted right, that's not exactly interpreted right in an email or what you hear, you can call us and get it from us personally. But one thing that we do not do, we do not talk about anybody or try to make scandalous remarks about a person, especially to mess up their reputation. Because I've been seeing texts where people were saying stuff about races and prejudice. We never said anything like that. I just want us to be able to move forward, and we take we listen to everybody and what you said, and we just want to end up with a good district where everybody can come in and support each other, get these teams, the football, basketball, all the sports back the way it used to be. And I just wanted to, that's why I decided to go last, because I just wanted to address everybody. And Morrow, welcome.
Welcome back.
Oh, okay, welcome back. That's Mr. Carter, welcome back. But I just want us to all be able to communicate. Communication is the key. So if there's something that you don't understand, don't just automatically assume something. You can reach out to any of us, and I'll be happy to let you know how I feel about something, but don't never take anything and just misuse it or say things, because I'm not like that and none of us are like that. And so if there's anything, you can come to me with anything. Even if you want to scream in my face, just don't get too close. But I'm here. I'm here to talk to anybody. But that's all I wanted to say. I just want us to get the camaraderie back and build these students up to, because they're only going to be young once. You know, once you leave high school, that's when these students soon realize the bills, the headaches, everything comes in. You know, like we're buying, parents buy their food, do this for them, then once they get out and see how much money we spent on them, then they'll be wanting not to go out and eat all the time, and things like that. Okay, but welcome back, and thank you guys to the community for their pros and the cons. We listen, and like I always stated before, never assume that we know everything, because we don't, because I've been like a deer in headlights when I had people, and I don't like looking like that, but I appreciate you guys coming and voicing your concerns. I just want to move forward. And I hope everybody can come together and just keep moving forward and keep lifting Harlem up. Okay, that's all I had to say about that. Okay.
Social justice and equity.
Oh, no, I forgot to tell, I went to the Kaleidoscope concert. We have some good bands and choirs in this district. Next time the Kaleidoscope, they have a performance, please go and see them. And I did, and I want to say thank you to the Rock Cut. Mr. Ryan kept bringing them out. It was amazing to hear them speak in Spanish and to do it in English. And I was trying to see if I could picture the word with what they were saying, because I only know uno, dos, tres. That's all I know. But I didn't plan on taking Spanish. The Model UN, those ladies, wow. That is amazing, and that really just touched me. I'm just excited. And then, what was it, the welding people, what was that?
Middle school, like career.
Yeah, the career.
Fair.
Trade fair. I'm so glad that we finally have the trades program coming back, because I've always stated, everybody's not college material, so to be able to get what you need to start out in the workforce, I think that's really, Harlem is doing good things. But I'm just gonna hurry up, because I can rumble on, and then I get a little stuck on what I be trying to say, because I be looking at everybody trying to make sure I'm saying everything correctly. But thank you guys again, really appreciate you coming out and voicing your concerns. And
your meeting.
Oh, see, I told
You even said you were going to do that.
I know.
And then did it.
The next Equity and Social Justice meeting is March 21st. That's on a Thursday at 4:30 at the high school in room. It's here?
Yeah, which is.
Never mind, but the next equity meeting, the Equity and Social Justice meeting is March 21st at 4:30 here. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. My mistake.
You're good. All right. Who's taking Dr. Earp's part?
We don't have anything.
No student travel tonight?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, back to John.
All right, thank you.
The first item tonight is a recommendation to approve a resolution declaring surplus at the Administration Center, Marquette, and the Tech Department. Next is a recommendation to approve a facility request for Six Flags lifeguard training in the pools. Any questions on any of those?
Is that middle school or high school or both?
It's high school, I believe. I have it here.
Not that it really matters.
Oh, it's middle school, sorry.
Middle school?
Yeah. All right, so I got two more items, and these are exciting items. So B3 and B4 relate to the property tax abatement grant that we qualified for. Good news and bad news, mostly good news that we qualified to abate $1.79 million. We were eligible for 5.1, so we fell on the last slot, so we only got partially funded for that.
There was, how many slots?
There were, well, so they had 49.4 million, and we were the 41, or there was 32 districts ahead of us.
And how long has it been since we've gotten it previously?
We got it in 2020, so I'm gonna run through what exactly that means, because there's a lot of different nuances to this, and so, part of this grant, or I'll just kind of read the bullet points that I have. So the attached abatement resolutions are for $1.79 million for each year of the grant amount received. We will only get $1,655,710 back from the state, because we're only qualified for 92.4% back. And that was similar to what happened in 2020. So the district will have to cover the $134,924 difference. So these 2 years combined will make the total taxes abated for this property tax relief grant $3,581,268. This grant requires that we abate the taxes for these 2 years in order for these funds to permanently roll into our evidence-based funding calculation. So in 2 years, these funds would come back on to the property tax bills. One positive note is that the district's tax rate will continue to drop. For this upcoming year, we were projected to be at $6.31, and with this abatement, we'll have dropped by approximately another 21 cents, or $6.09. We're currently this year at $6.72, so that is a good drop in the tax rate.
So property taxes are getting lower.
So the rate is going down. I'll talk a little about the taxes next.
They do.
We discussed. Yeah, so before the property tax relief grant, the Harlem portion of the property tax bill is projected to increase 4.6%. After this abatement, the increase is projected to be 1%.
Yes.
So with these abatements and taking the 2020 property tax relief grant and combining them, the district will have abated over $12,296,000 in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
Put that on a poster.
Business Services Committee is really good.
So we asked, our attorney had me ask the county, do they want this in one resolution, two at the same time? Last time we did it 1 year and then the next year. This is asking the board to approve both abatements at the same time, so we don't have to go back and do it next year. I will file them both with the county.
Cool.
So that is the short summary of what this is, and are there any questions on that?
No, I'm just happy to have it.
Yeah.
And it looks like the state's gonna approve another $350 million, which would put another $50 million in that pot for next year. So if we fell on the line this year, we have a chance to qualify again next year.
Check the box. Check the box.
Absolutely. All right, so my last item is a recommendation to approve a 3-year contract with Marathon Health to operate the on-site health clinic at Harlem High School. And I attached a memo, just kind of laying out the details of that. I'm just going to briefly kind of summarize, and if you guys have questions, feel free to ask at that point. So there's a memo attached, like I said, laying out the information and the benefits regarding the on-site health clinic for the district. We had 7 people or a group evaluate, including a couple board members. We had 4 companies submit proposals to operate the clinic. And after going through that evaluation process, the group recommended Marathon Health with a staffing structure of 1 MD, 1 RN, and 1 MA. This clinic will offer adult and pediatric primary care, including office visits for preventative, acute, and chronic disease management, as well as labs, immunizations, vaccinations, annual physicals, sports physicals, and wellness services, with limited pharmacy also within the clinic. So we believe with this recommendation, we will provide the district with a robust level of healthcare, flexibility, and scheduling to meet the demands of our staff, and lower costs for our insured employees and their dependents.
So I just have 2 questions.
Sure.
Sick days, anything like that? You said one MD. What happens?
Sure, yes. We talked a lot about coverage of that, and Marathon will provide coverage. So if the RN and MA are out, I don't think that one will cover for each other, but we talked a lot about the MD and how that will be covered. So the clinic won't shut down if someone's sick.
They were the strongest when we talked about coverage.
I just.
Oh, okay.
Getting him to be able to say
Yeah.
that. And then the second one is, so student enrollment, those kids are able to get sports physicals.
So this would be people on the plan whose students need, like if you have kids at the high school, they would be on the health plan.
Okay.
So, I mean, we have quite a few dependents and I believe quite a few students on the plan, so they would get sports physicals that way.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, Josh, we talked about the other company, wasn't it Everside?
Mhm.
And when they came together, they were gonna keep the Everside name?
Nope. Marathon.
Okay.
So what she's mentioning is that our top two choices actually are currently merging and keeping the Marathon name, so.
Well, that was
an easy choice, wasn't it? Well, and we
like
took the option that was the less expensive, and so, same product, but they're keeping the Marathon app, which is what we liked, and so there's a lot of positives to that, so.
And they've still gone through the contract and we've done a lot of the redacting that they had done and changing some of the things?
That's what we've been doing the last month too, yeah. And after we went back, we got them to have the upfront costs and lower the annual increase percentage like we talked about. So yes, that's why I didn't come last meeting, is because we spent the last month going through the contract review process, so. Everyone signed off on that part. Any other questions on the clinic recommendation? No? Great, thank you. That is my report then, thank you.
Not bad. Dr. Troy.
All right, I'll keep mine short and sweet. We're getting there. So.
Yep.
Freedom of Information Act, FOIA submitted on February 5th, 2024 by Megan Hastings, requesting all emails sent or forwarded from Rebecca Carlson at harlem122.org, and the district's response dated February 20th, 2024, with responsive documents sent to requester. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Moving over to the consent agenda. Yep. Motion to approve facility requests.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carl?
Aye.
All right, moving over to action items. Can I get a motion to approve resolution declaring surplus property?
Motion. Second.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
And a motion to approve destruction of audio recordings from July 2021 through June 2022, recordings older than 18 months.
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution providing the abatement of 2023 taxes in order to obtain fiscal year 2024 property tax relief grant?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve resolution providing for abatement of 2024 taxes in order to obtain fiscal year 2024 property tax relief grant?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
All right. Can I get a motion to approve a 3-year contract with Marathon Health to operate the on-site health clinic at Harlem High School?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the restructured job description of secretary to assistant superintendent for communications and community relations?
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve memorandum of understanding between the Harlem Federation of Teachers, Harlem Federation of Support Staff, and Harlem Board of Education to amend provisions of the 2022 through 2025 collective bargaining agreement as the Level B Secretary, HMS Athletic Secretary, Main Office Receptionist, and Level C Secretary to the Assistant Superintendent of Communications and Community Relations, formerly Parent Resource Secretary.
Motion.
Wow.
That was wordy.
Shelley wasn't easy on you tonight.
It doesn't happen often, but when it does.
Can we get through
Can
it?
we get a second?
Mr.
Second.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Abstain.
All right, lastly, can I get a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between the Harlem Federation of Teachers, Harlem Federation of Support Staff, and Harlem Board of Education to amend the provisions of the 2022 through 2025 collective bargaining agreement to specify 12-month secretarial employees' options when district offices are closed or due to unusual or emergency
Motion.
circumstances?
Second.
Second?
Got a second.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
C.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Carlson?
Abstain.
One word at a
Mr.
time.
Smith?
Yes.
I don't know
The
what's
present Spanish.
Yeah.
All right, with that, is there any announcements and discussion for anybody? Any at all? Going once, going twice? Can we get a motion and a second to adjourn?
No.
Oh, yes.
We gotta go back and close
Last
session.
one for the minutes.
Yeah.
I need a motion and a second to go into closed session for closed meeting minutes 5 ILCS 120-2 C21.
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you guys for staying.
Hey, thanks, guys.
We appreciate you.
Hey.